from the 4-3 wide 9. So we want to try and find some run defense out of the 4-3 wide 9. Let's see what we can come up with here. Boom.
Yeah, so really anything that this is kind of a rule of thumb, really any formation that you can kind of take anywhere you go. So if you go 4-3 wide 9 here, and you were in the Cowboys defensive playbook?
Yes.
So 4-3 wide 9. Really, you can take any cover 3 and turn it into this, but just you want to look for a place called literally cover to invert. That's what we have here. And go down, or go up, go up. Right there. So cover 2 invert, square.
Square.
And the cover 2 invert is, the reason it works is because look at all the defenders near the line of scrimmage. The one thing...
Should I baseline against this formation?
You can baseline if you want, but the one thing that's important to note about run defense, it's a very fundamental thing, is that it's very specific to numbers.
Right.
It's a numbers game. And what that means, guys, is you need to look at the formation you're facing, count the number of offensive players that are immediate to the line of scrimmage. So you have the offensive lineman, so take away your play art. Take away your play out here. And so you have the 5 offensive linemen, and then you have the 1 tight end.
Yep.
That's
6.
5 plus 1 is 6, plus the running back. The running back can't really be a blocker unless he's going to be a read option. So you have 6 blockers, and you have a slot receiver that's kind of in the mix.
Yeah.
So you got maybe 7 blockers on this play that are going to really affect the outcome of the play. Now, you've probably heard many times before, you have to load the box with defenders. But do you actually know what that means? So loading the box with defenders literally means it's like about, if you look where the ball is, you see
right.
where
Like
the
Scander's
center
on the edge of the box. Like right here is kind of the edge of the box.
The box is about like 5 yards. Like
he's sort of out of the box.
Right. But if you look at the number of defenders in the area near the line of scrimmage, near the ball, you have 4 defensive linemen, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have every other defender in the box. So that means that there's more defenders than there are blockers. So what does that mean? That means
you're going to win this matchup.
You're going to win this matchup just purely based on numbers. Nothing else. When you're thinking of stopping the run, you need to think of numbers. It gets more advanced than that when you're trying to stop like certain runs in the game because it's a game, so you have different like dynamics. But when you look at this and you see the numbers game, why it works is literally this. You're running the ball to the right side. You have a double team down on the left D tackle. So now the offense had 6 blockers. They have 4 blockers now. How can 4 blockers literally block? If we just look at that part of the field, it is impossible for the offense to win this matchup. They cannot win this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 defenders over there, plus you're usually bringing, so 7, that are going to try and go up against 4 offensive pass blockers, run blockers. Right. So you can't win based on math.
No.
So when you watch the play unfold, literally math starts to take place. Like there's too many uncovered defenders. So the offense can't win. So when you want to think to stop the run, the very first place you need to start thinking is math and think numbers. How can I get more defenders near the ball than there are blockers?
And then you've also got, so the big key about the cover 2 invert is obviously the middle safety, who in a cover 3 would be dropped in the middle. Yep. Take me to Barry Church. He drops down and plays here. So that's, I mean, most people can call cover 3, and then what they do is just they manually bring in the deep safety here, and then they play him in a hook, and then they know they have to get back in the deep middle if things go wrong. So they make their own cover 2 invert. But there are plays actually built in cover 2 invert where then you bring them down in.
Right.
So you're good there.
So here's the run again. You get the numbers advantage. You literally can't
that was Church in there on the first hit on Lacey.
So that I mean that's the starting point of a good run defense. Again, it gets more advanced when you start facing more advanced runs. So for example, the strong power. What makes strong power really effective in counters is that you kind of sway those numbers a little bit because you're now taking 2 guards and you're pulling them to a certain area of the field.
Right.
So where you didn't have the run blocking before, now you're adding to the run blocking scheme in that spot. So that's what makes it more difficult to defend. So you can see there, and you go back and look at the math on this. You were like, okay, no, I have this matchup won. But what ends up happening is you look at what happens here. You see the 2 pulling guards. They kick and
you don't get the double team.
You don't get the double team. Yep. And that's what messes everything up. You don't get the double teams consistently. You get hat on the hat.
He gets pushed out of the play, and then his guy I mean, he just missed a tackle.
Right.
It looked like he got hit, but
it changes the math.
Right. Same thing with the halfback counter. If you look at the halfback counter, you can have 8 guys in the box, but one of them is going to stand up, and then one of them is going to go the wrong way. So now you got 6 guys in the box. So whatever you think you had, you got 2 less, and that's what makes these runs work better than others.
Absolutely.
And then you got to get back and get that deep safety. That's where you can get burnt, as you can with any cover 2, but specifically if they're looking to throw. So